Hello and welcome to Talk Sup't, a weekly podcast from Selma City Schools where you will hear information regarding our schools, the district, and the community at large. And now, our host, Dr. Avis Williams.
And we're back once again for Talk Sup't. I am Dr. Avis Williams, Superintendent for Selma City Schools.
And I am Courtney Washington, Community Engagement Specialist for Selma City Schools.
And we have an extremely special guest with us today. You may recognize her. This is Mrs. Tempero Culliver, and she is our secondary teacher of the year. But even more important than that, she made it to the Sweet 16 for the state.
Yay! Cue applause.
Right? And we are just so stinking proud of you.
Yes.
And guys, talk about a phenomenal teacher. She really sets the bar high. Excellence is one of our core values. And every time I'm in her classroom, you definitely exude excellence, which is why you're our teacher of the year.
It's awesome.
Yes, it is. And so, have you watched our show? Have you watched Talk Sup't?
I honestly have not. I had every intention to, but I'm trying to click the links. I don't think I made the connection. Because the Twitter doesn't let you click it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So
It's
that's
not a
something we're
click.
going to fix because we need everybody watching Talk Sup't. Because if you watch Talk Sup't, then you know one of our segments that we have every session is called My Why. And it's a campaign we did months ago, and just really exploring why. Why do you get up in the morning? What gives you your energy and your passion to do what you do every day? Miss Teacher of the Year, what's your why?
My why? I did this before on a little video.
You
so I've
sure
had
did.
lots of
Right? And it was awesome too, yes.
But I know for a fact that my why is it's based in the fact that I know that I'm fulfilling my God-given purpose to educate and nurture good-hearted citizens and intrinsically motivated learners. For me, it's not enough for a student to get it right just for the grade, but I really want them to want it, like
for
really
themselves.
want it and apply it to their lives.
Absolutely.
So more than anything, I know it's a God-given purpose. Like, this is not just something that I just do for a job. Like, I would do it for free. I know, but honestly, I know that this is what I'm put on earth to do. I was created for this. I was made for it.
That is so awesome. Yeah. And that's the way it should be, because teaching has to be a calling and a passion.
Yes,
because there are some challenges that I know you encounter, and you've overcome many, I'm sure, in the years that you've been a teacher. But how does it feel to have made it to the Sweet 16 for the state of Alabama? Now, of all of the school districts, of all of the schools in the state, Sweet 16, how's that feel?
Amazing.
The first thing that comes to mind when you ask this question, I think about Proverbs 18:16. It says that a man's gift will make room for him and place him before great men. And so this is my third year of teaching. And if you all knew the journey that brought me to Selma, my first job was here in Selma.
Okay.
But when offered the job, I was also offered other positions that were literally 5 minutes away from my apartment. And to know that the Lord was leading me to come to Selma, travel from Montgomery, an hour there and an hour back. By the time I get home, it's time to come back to Selma.
Right.
And but I knew it was something that God wanted me to do, and it didn't make sense to me, honestly. That first year, my family was like, "Girl, you crazy! Like, that's money, that's energy, and you could literally be 5 minutes away from your job." My Zumba class was right by the school. I was like, "This is perfect, Lord. It just makes sense in my eyes." But through this, it just confirms that when you obey God, like, He honors that obedience really is better than sacrifice.
Absolutely.
And so what the Sweet 16 really means for me is that I'm moving in the right direction, that this is just another scenario of confirmation from the Lord. Like, to be here, He's been confirming ever since I've been here. Every year has been something to confirm, and then I'm like, okay, Lord, I get it. This is where I'm supposed to be.
I'm
So
listening.
without forcing it or trying to prove anything to anybody, I'm a third year teacher. Like, just staying in my lane and, doing the best that I can do. Really striving for that excellence. Like,
what are some of the challenges? As you say, you've been a third year teacher, and we know that in education, oftentimes teachers get frustrated. What are some of the challenges that you faced, and how have you overcome them as a teacher?
I know for me, the biggest one since year one has been reaching all of my students. I've always been called this overachiever. I'm the oldest child, so that may be like a thing. I don't know. But I want to reach all of my students. And the biggest issue that I've had is being in a classroom. You know, you can go to research and find these strategies to reach your students. And, you know, I know you all encourage us to do that. And that's what I do. But I have yet to find a strategy to address scenarios like, Miss Tempera, could I work by myself today? My house got shot up last night. Things like that. It's just like, what strategy do you use to engage a student who's going through situations like that? And so I go to research, and one of the biggest things that I've grabbed from the research that have been consistent for me from year to year is relationships.
Yes. There you go.
All right. There's so many reading strategies, so many things you could do, but none of that stuff
children
matters.
need to know that you care, and you have to build that positive relationship.
It starts there. It starts there, definitely.
And then there are so many rewards once you're able to do that.
Yes.
Talk about that.
I would say the biggest thing is the relationships.
Yeah.
I think that's why I really enjoy teaching, because I love to encourage people. People say, you always smile, you always positive, but I really believe that that's why God made me a teacher. Because I'm really good at encouraging. I'm really good at lifting spirits. That's just something I feel like I'm called to do.
You know what else you're good at? Singing.
Oh,
we talk about the arts a lot because Courtney is an artist. She's a dancer, and you have a beautiful voice.
I love it. I love to sing. My students will tell you that.
Yeah. Do you sing in class sometimes?
Well, they'll ask me to, but it's always, you got to do this, this, and this.
Yes.
And sometimes it's like at the end of a quarter, at the end of a 9 weeks, where we got our average. So Miss Tim, you got the song, and so they pick the song sometimes, and I'll do it.
Good.
Yeah.
I like it.
That sounds like you have a great relationship with your students, which again, like you said, that is so key, because we always say in education, children don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
That's it. That's the number one strategy.
It is just caring about children and having those positive relationships, and it goes a long way. It really does. So we know that the Final Four was announced, and you did not make the Final Four, but oh my goodness, we are so proud of you, and I would put you up against any one of those teachers in the Final Four or any others, as far as your skill set, your knowledge, your passion, and your joy and love for the teaching profession. You make us look good.
I think you look good. That's another one of the rewards, is like being a part of this district. I'm learning and growing so much. As a 3-year teacher, I love to learn anyway, but I've just learned so much from everybody. I'm watching y'all, even when I'm not talking, I'm learning from you. Like right now, I'm learning. I'm just a sponge. Like I love it. That's just who I am.
And that's what being a lifelong learner is about. That's one of the things I love about being an educator. Every day you get an opportunity to learn something new.
Right.
Yeah. So we appreciate you sharing with us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, we wish you the best in your future endeavors with Team Selma, and looking forward to watching you grow and blossom even more.
Thank you. Me too.
Yeah. We're not done yet, though.
Okay.
Okay. So another segment that we always do is
The street committee says
what? Okay. So one of the things that as superintendent and as an educator period, we want to make sure that we have safe schools. And so we are constantly looking at safety and security and how we can improve it. And so one of the things that I'm hearing is that we're not going to have security and our schools aren't going to be safe. And that's absolutely not true. We are looking at a partnership with Selma's Police Department, SPD. And our goal is to actually have school resource officers in our buildings, in our middle and high schools. And we're still working on that process, but whether it's school resource officers or some other means, security will always be a priority. Right. And we never want there to be a scenario where we feel like our children and our teachers and staff aren't safe. Right. So, for the street committee, whether, again, it's security, school resource officers, we will absolutely ensure that our schools are safe. And as always, we're open to suggestions from our viewers, from our parents, from our stakeholders, from our partners, in ways that you would like to see us address safety. So there you go, street committee.
All right, street committee.
Do you have anything else that you'd like to add or share with our viewers and listeners?
Just want to inspire us to continue this journey of humility, forgiveness, love. That's all a part of it. I just getting to this place at such an early stage of my career is like, I know that's all God, and I know that everybody's not into God, and that's fine. But I do know that that's my inspiration. That's my hope. And for any of you that cling to that hope, that if you know that hope, cling to it, because that's the way.
Agreed. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we will be right back with another special guest. And we're back, as promised. And as always, we have another very special guest. This is Mrs. Tara Smith.
Yay.
She is the fabulous principal of Payne Elementary School. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Ms. Smith, we're going to start off with your why. Tell us your why. Why do you do what you do, and what makes being a principal at Payne so special?
Well, my why is Selma City Schools.
Okay.
Why do I say that? Well, I say that because I'm a product of Selma City Schools. I was born and raised right here in Selma. I attended Bird Elementary as my elementary school.
Okay.
R.B. Hudson was West Side back then, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and I graduated from Selma High, class of 97.
Oh, wow. Yay! Go Saints, right?
So just being able, I think when I was coming up, the teachers then instilled in us that we had to give back to our community.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So having that instilled in me, it makes me really want to instill that in the students that we have.
Oh, that's so good.
Every day, these children are our future.
Yeah.
They are our teachers, our doctors, our lawyers, our banks, our nurses.
We need to invest in them,
This is what we need. So having that direct impact on their lives just makes me want to be there for them, and knowing that they're going to be our future.
I love it.
Yeah, that's powerful. And it's so important because they need to know that we believe in them and that we have high expectations for them to give back to the community. Awesome. You go.
So over the last few episodes, we've been talking about the Academies of Academic Excellence.
Yes.
So talk to us about your Academy of Academic Excellence.
Well, Payne is going to be the Payne STEAM Academy.
Ooh,
we're going to focus
like
on
that.
Science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. So we're excited. But this upcoming year, we're going to put most of our focus on the E and the A, the engineering and the arts.
Oh, that's a great
Yeah.
combination.
The engineering and the arts. So looking at that, what we tried to do is find some people that we connect with in the community already.
Okay.
So for the engineering component, we have Mr. Larry Mack. He was a former student at Payne Elementary.
Okay,
And he
Mr.
reached
Mack.
out to me before. So he's at NASA, and he said, yes, I'll help. Whatever you need me to do, we're willing to do it. So he's going to help us with the robotics and Legoing part of the
Are you thinking about a robotics team?
Yes, we are.
That is awesome.
And we already have some teachers that are ready, willing, travel to compete. We're looking at that part, so we're excited about it.
That is exciting.
I'm just loving this the more and more.
I know
Every
it.
week
I know
I'm loving
it.
it more and more.
Every one of our elementary schools is going to have an Academy of Academic Excellence, and we're about to change the landscape of what elementary education looks like in Selma City.
And you guys have to come with it because I'm pushing it out. I was just
Right.
talking to someone the other day about our Academies of Academic Excellence. So we're working on getting those partnerships into the school. So
We're excited. I'm excited.
What do you have planned for the arts part?
The arts part. Well, we've talked to Bailey Dawson.
Okay.
Bailey Dawson is also a former principal of of Payne Elementary. And he, when he was there, he ordered some drums and some flutes. So we have these instruments there. We just didn't have anyone to kind of partner with us to make sure our students were ready for it.
Okay.
So, of course, I contacted him and I said, Mr. Dawson, we need you.
Oh, yes.
We need you to come in and teach our kids how to keyboard.
Yes.
He said, okay, I'm willing, just let me know when. So that's something that we're going to be working on as well.
Oh, that is awesome.
That is great.
So you're going to be producing musicians
Yes,
and engineers.
I love it.
And one more thing, I talked to Mr. Pritchett at Selma High because our students are awesome, and they do an awesome job. So I asked him, I said, Mr. Pritchett, you and Mr. Williams, Brandon Williams, do you all have like an honors band or a class where they can come over and work with our kids? And he said, yes, I can work it in the schedule. We can get it all worked out. So I'm excited about that partnership.
Yeah.
And they're
And I love it when our schools partner with each other.
And I was going to say the same thing. The students' response to the band is always exciting. I love
that's
that.
a drum line.
Right, absolutely.
They're excited.
So what are some things in school that the scholars will be able to do next year that they're not already doing now? What are some other things and activities that they may have access to?
Well, one of the things that we really want to focus on is our curriculum design.
Okay.
So we want to use the engineering design model where all of our students in every class will be learning how to ask questions, imagine, create a plan, create it, and then we're going to, improve it, try it out and improve. So that's our goal. Starting out when we're changing into our STEAM Academy is to design our curriculum where all students work on that engineering design model.
I love that. And that can be for any
Any
subject
subject area.
So now, is there an acronym for this? I'm still learning a few of our acronyms.
STEAM.
Well,
the engineering design.
Yeah.
Well, it's just the engineering design model.
We'll call it ED. Engineering design
Well,
model.
we're talking about the world. So
And in education, we have an acronym for everything.
And I am one that's still learning.
So the EDM, the engineering design model. Okay. I
Sounds
love
fancy.
it.
I like it.
It does sound fancy. So are you excited about it?
I'm excited. I'm super excited. We're ready to, learn together, explore our options, and just really get our STEAM Academy going. I'm excited.
And when are you starting? It's start of next school year? Or?
Yes, we're going to roll out part of it. Like I
Okay.
said, the engineering design model will be introduced into every class.
Okay.
And we're going to, this year coming up, we'll focus on the E and the A, the engineering and the arts. And then as, by year 3, we'll have all of STEAM ready to go.
Gotcha.
But just rolling out, we're going to focus on the E and the A.
Got it. So you've already talked about a few of the partnerships that you've already established for your the engineering and arts part. Talk to us about some more community partnerships that you think you may need starting out.
Well, I know as we, further explore and build our STEAM Academy, we're going to look at, partnering with the science, because we really got to work on the science component. The technology. We're going to participate in the 21st Century Grant.
Okay, good.
So we're going to
For an
look
after-school program.
Yeah, so we're going to look at, building and partnering to make sure that we have those things to, make sure our students are well-rounded. And the M, of course, the math. We've got to work on that component as well. But it's just going to be a learning process. And as we, grow and as we build, we hope we can get many others to want to help us out.
Well, I am here to help however
Absolutely.
you need it.
She's the specialist on getting partners. And speaking of partners, we had a phenomenal partnership brunch this week.
Yes, we did. I didn't get anything to eat.
You were a little busy hosting it.
However, it was very nice. Again, the participation from the partners and the responses that I got from a lot of them. I'm still getting emails now about how much they enjoyed meeting with you all and enjoying the Selma High School choir. Thank you. They did an awesome job. And just having the opportunity to hear more from all of us about what's happening with Team Selma. They are so excited about the Academies of Academic Excellence.
And we just so appreciate our community partners. And we're glad they're excited about the work that we're doing. And we thank each and every one of our partners for the support that they're providing and that they will provide, especially to our Academies of Academic Excellence. Do we have any shout-outs that we're doing today?
We do. Last week we had our Literacy Festival, and I want to shout out the Selma Dallas County AmeriCorps. They were there. They were some of the main volunteers for that, and they are also in each, well, probably not in all the schools, but they are present in a number of our schools.
Okay.
And they volunteered for our shoe distribution in January, as well as for our poverty simulation session.
They sure did.
So they
AmeriCorps has been good to us.
Yes, definitely. So thank you for your partnership, and we hope that it continues, and we are here for anything that you need.
Absolutely. So we appreciate you being with us and sharing about the STEAM Academy at Payne, and definitely looking forward to hearing more about that. But as we wrap up, this is our 6th episode. Right? And so we are approaching the end of our season. Yes. Season 1. I think we've got 3 more episodes.
We do. We have 3 more episodes coming up.
Yeah.
And we should be done, July 26th? Are we moving before then?
To start back?
To start back July 26th.
Yes. We will be back at the end of July. Yes, that sounds right to me. The last week of July.
Now we can keep going.
Yeah. 3 more episodes. And so we will be ending around the time that the school year ends. And so we, in the coming weeks, definitely look forward to celebrating our graduates. And also we still have 2 more elementary schools to learn about their Academies of Academic Excellence. So
they could be.
So that's what we have to coming up. Again, thank you so much for joining us, and we are super excited about our STEAM Academy. And thank you all for listening and for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next time on Talk Soup.